And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 163 of Player Life, Signs That You Are a Beta Orbiter. It is Wednesday, the 8th of September here in Tokyo, Japan. What is good? Crazy, man. I can't believe it is the 8th of September already. That is nuts. That is insane. I don't know. What happened to summer? It went by. The summer is over. The summer is officially finished. All good though. Know your worth in the house. What's up? What up, players? What is good? Hope you're well. Gabriel E in the house. What's good? Seasons in Japan are crazy. They just change. Like, boom. Like one day it's 36 degrees, and the next it's like 21 and raining, and it's just over. That's pretty much what happened. I mean, like 2 weeks ago, it was 36 degrees. I was going to the pool not every day, but I was going to the, an outdoor pool. It was awesome. There was hotties around the pool. Then the next week, it's like 21 degrees. It's raining. It's kind of like leaves are starting to fall off the trees. It's weird, man. It's like that with all the seasons in Japan. It kind of just like snap, change. But I like it. I like diversity. I like variety. I enjoy all 4 seasons. I don't think I have a favorite. Well, it's probably summer. Summer's probably my favorite season, but just because like the way chicks dress, it's easier to just go out. You can just throw on a t-shirt and just roll out of your house. But I appreciate all seasons, gotta say. But yeah, it is. It's coming into autumn here in Tokyo. All is good, all is well, and today I want to talk about what it is. Signs that you are a beta orbiter. Signs that you're a beta orbiter. You never want to be a beta orbiter. So, first of all, you might be asking, what is a beta orbiter? And a beta orbiter is basically a guy that, by the way, I got this new mic. I don't know. New mic up in my up in my stream here, getting better, increasing the quality of the equipment. I don't know. MLD told me to get it. It's, I don't know. I thought is the sound better? Does it sound better? Because let me know in the chat if it sounds better. Because I thought I'm just using the MacBook Pro here, and it was like totally, I didn't have any mic or anything. It was just like the mic from the Mac, and I was just speaking. But now I have a mic here, and Know Your Worth says it sounds a tad better. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it probably doesn't sound that much different, but whatever. Might as well get a proper mic. I guess it feels kind of better to be speaking into a mic, even if it doesn't sound that much better. Riley says it sounds good. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, if it sounds better. Now I gotta get a better camera. I have this camera. It's all right, but it does the job. But I might try and get a high quality camera, up the quality of the stream. Since I do photography game, I should have good visuals. You know what I mean? Gotta get the visuals on point. Since I am a pickup artist, it's all about the visuals. But what is a beta orbiter? Everyone probably knows what a beta orbiter is, but just to confirm, a beta orbiter is a guy that kind of, it's almost like one-itis, as in, you kind of you give a woman too much attention. An orbiter is a guy that just gives one particular chick too much attention, Maybe he's explicitly trying to date the girl, just and he just doesn't give up, just consistently keeps on trying, and gives the girl way too much attention. A beta orbiter is someone who likes on every girl, like on every girl's Instagram post, maybe comments on it. That's like heavy beta orbiting, like heavy beta orbiting. If you're liking and commenting, that's like explicitly being a beta orbiter. But you can be a beta orbiter in the background too. You might be aware that, oh shit, I don't want to be seen to be liking her posts and commenting on it, because you'd be embarrassed to do, be seen as a beta orbiter. But you could actually be a beta orbiter in the background, and that's still just as bad. Like, people might not see it. Other people might not see that you're a beta orbiter, but you could be still excessively texting the girl, consistently trying to hook, bring her on dates, even though she's like making excuses, not replying to you, just doesn't give, isn't very responsive, isn't very responsive to your messages, so yeah, it's almost just as bad as explicitly being a beta orbiter, by commenting on her posts and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, you're still wasting your time. You're wasting your time. The thing is, you should always you should always be trying to close. There's nothing wrong with that. Like if you're hitting a chick up and you're trying to hook up with her and you're trying to arrange a date and you're trying to close her, that's good. I mean, that's good, but it reaches a point where it's not good because you're wasting time. She's already like shown a lack of interest. She's already not responded. She's already made enough excuses. So it gets to a point where it's like, okay, now you're getting into the territory of being a fucking just an orbiter. And that's when you have to check yourself. You have to like, shit, like, okay, I've already tried to take this bitch out, I've tried to take this bitch out. She hasn't responded, or she hasn't given me the appropriate response, or she's flaked. That's why you have the rule of three, and I would say, it's the rule of 3 dates. And it's also the rule of, kind of 3 invites at most, at the very most. I'd say you should invite a woman out 3 times. And sometimes it depends. And sometimes even 3 times can be excessive. Like, but if you go past three invites, like, check yourself. Like, have you invited this chick out more than 3 times? Then you're in the fucking beta orbiter territory. And this girl, like, if you invite a girl out more than 3 times, it's like, it's not only being persistent, but it's the girl, you're explicitly telling the girl that you have like a lack of options, just by the fact that you're doing that, by the fact that you're inviting a girl out that hasn't responded to you. You're telling her, directly or indirectly, that you don't have that many options. Because if you did have options, if you actually did have options, you wouldn't do that. You have other girls that you have other hot girls. You don't need to invite someone out that many times. Like, it's just, you're telling her, like, you're not like explicitly telling her, hey, I don't have any other chicks. Like, regardless of how hot she is, you're still, you're telling her shit. I don't have that many. I don't have any options. I'm not banging any other girls now. So, yeah, you're just digging yourself a hole. You're literally digging yourself a hole. Like, there's no chance. Like, whatever chance you have, like, if a girl doesn't like go out with you, it's like, basically she's not that interested. If you invite a girl out and she doesn't respond, or she responds and makes an excuse, she's basically telling you she's not that interested. She's not that interested. She's just not. But But if you continue to invite her out, that's like, that's why I really like 3 times is like the ultimate max. Like if you go over that, it's like, it's ridiculous. Like you're killing it. Even 3 times is I'm still not sure if you even should invite a girl 3 times, but that's why it's the limit. Like, because sometimes a girl can, it can in different ways, a girl can maybe make an excuse, and then, you can invite her again a week later or 2 weeks later. And then maybe, she makes another excuse, and then maybe on the third time she'll meet you or something. So it can be worth it to invite, sometimes, like, not give up like immediately. Like it can be worth it to pursue it a little bit, but then there's a cutoff point. There's like a red line when you've done it like 3 times. When you've invited a girl already 3 times out, then that's like the red line. That's when you remove attention. Not only to send her a message, but like for your own sake too. It's not actually to send her a message. It's actually for you. So it's not like, oh, you remove attention just to teach her a lesson. It's not only that. It's mainly for you. It's mainly like you actually remove your attention from her. It's not like just pretend removing attention, like, oh, I'll unfollow her and she's going to be so upset. Oh, I'm going to really get back at her. Although, it is kind of satisfying to do that. However, it's not like, the cold hard truth is they don't give a fuck, really, to be honest. Like if you unfollow them or whatever, like the fact of the matter is, the fact that they didn't go and meet you is, it tells you that they weren't that interested anyway. So when you unfollow them, they're not really going to give a fuck. That's the cold hard truth. Like, I mean, so yeah, you'll get a bit of satisfaction from removing your attention, but the reason you should actually be unfollowing them and removing attention is for your own sake. So it's not like you only unfollow them, it's not good enough to unfollow them and still continue like creeping on their profiles and shit. Like, no, that's like lame as fuck. Like, no, you unfollow them, you delete their messages, and you pursue other girls. That's what you do. Anything else otherwise is fucking lame as fuck. Like if you're like, if you're like, you getting one-itis over a girl that won't even fuck you, won't even meet you. Like if you're looking at her profile and shit, no, you invite them 3 times maximum. That's the fucking limit. And then, you shouldn't be just focusing on one woman anyway. You should have multiple, lines in the water. You should be fishing these bitches, because that's what we have to do. If you want to fuck multiple bitches, this is what you have to do. It's like you put all your eggs in one basket and you're an idiot. You're just, it's not going to work out. You're not going to have that much sex. You might not have any sex if you start putting like if you go out, right? If I go out like day gaming, right? I go out and I just like, I get the first number I get, I'm like, I just go home then. I just like, oh, it's over. I got a number. Great. I would like, I might have sex a few times a year. I might bang a girl, like a few girls a year. I might bang a few girls. That would be my rate. I'd bang a few. It wouldn't be very much. It might be 3 or 4. Seriously, like, because that's what you're talking about. Like, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. And it's like, like most of the time, like when you get a number, all you're doing is getting a girl on the fucking sales list. You don't sell it to everyone on the fucking sales list. Not even close. Like it's just a sales list. It's just, you got them on the sales list. You're going to be able to pitch to them. Most of them a lot of them will ignore your pitch, or, block you, or, unsubscribe. You get them on your mailing list. There's going to be some that unsubscribe. There's going to be some that block you. There's going to be some that read it. There's going to be some that respond to it. There's going to, you know what I mean? It really is sales. Like it's not just some clever gimmick thing to say like, oh, sex is sales. No, it actually is. It actually is sales. So That's the way you have to view it. And like, you'd be a dumbass salesman. You'd be an idiot to go, like if someone, doesn't respond to you, and or you just focus on one customer that isn't that interested in buying your product. It's like you're just fucking wasting your time. No, you focus on gathering more contacts, more just increasing your list size. So that's what you got to do. Fosian says the thumbnail. Yeah, I mean, Dumb and Dumber, classic comedy movie, but that's a guy that got one-itis. Then obviously, I don't know if that's one being like extreme one-itis. Yeah, I guess it's an extreme case of one-itis. And also mixed in with being a beta orbiter. I would say more one-itis, but yeah, funny movie. That just came to mind when I thought of beta orbiter. Riley says, exactly. I got 2 chicks who follows my Snap. One was not interested twice, but still follows me. The other sent me some pic while I uninstalled the app and had unfollowed. Also true on the unfollowed. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, you got to do it. You got to just remove attention, and you got to actually not. You got to just like forget about them. Like just like once you shoot your shot a couple of times, remove all attention and you focus on gathering other girls. If you're, and it can also be the thing that it could be a girl that you actually does meet you sometimes, that actually does go on a date with you. She's willing to go on a date with you, but she's not willing to let you seal the deal. She's not willing to let you, take her to a. Yeah, she never lets you close. So that's another reason why you have the 3-date rule, a 3-date maximum, because anything more than 3 dates, that's why anything after 3 dates is like permanently like house date only. Like even if they're willing to come to your location like 2 minutes from your house on the 4th date, no, that's not it. No, they have to come to your fucking door, like to your door, like unless you go and pick them up and bring them to your. But they have to know that that's it. Like on the 4th date, there's no like going on a. There's no like going out, going to a having another fucking date with her. What are you gonna do? Like, I mean, what are you gonna do on a 4th date if you haven't smashed? If you haven't smashed, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna talk about? Like, what? It's just gonna be annoying. It's just gonna be fucking annoying going on 4 dates. Think about it. How long does 4 dates take? I've talked about this before. Like 4 dates, like it's gonna take at least a month. Like, think about it. You're not gonna, one date a week, something. I'm sure you're probably not gonna even meet one, every week. So it could even be like to get 4 dates with a chick, like it could take like 2 months. Like, even so that's ridiculous. That is like a ridiculously, like in this day and age, like even doing that, like we're in an era now, like we are literally in an era where like even like being made wait for the 3rd date is kind of like being a beta orbiter. Like, it might sound a bit extreme, but it's just the reason being is because it sounds harsh, but depending on the age of the girl, depending on how old she is. Like, I mean, if she's like 27 or something, 28, and getting into the epiphany phase, you just like know that she's given it up like a lot sooner to other guys. So it's kind of like you're kind of getting cucked, mildly cucked, because it's not a nice feeling to know that you're paying a higher price for something that was given away for cheaper when it was like in much better condition. 21-year-old pussy is obviously much better than 27-year-old pussy. That's a fact. Like that is just, it is what it is. Um, Chicks don't like it, but it's the cold hard truth. I saw a fucking I saw an interesting tweet there. What was it? Let me check it. What did it say? Yeah. So it said women age like fiat currencies. They all start out great, but they decline in value over time. Men age like cryptocurrencies. They all start out worthless. Most stay worthless. A few skyrocket. I thought it was pretty good. I have to say, you know, most women, I think most women when they're in their prime, they're at least bangable. Like they're more like, when a woman is in her prime, there's still going to be something hot about her. And these women just have like just crazy amounts of attention. I mean, you can see it on social media. You can see it like as clear as day. There's these girls that they're not that hot. They're not that hot. Some of these girls are not hot. They're just young, and they dress like provocatively, and these women get so much attention. So these women don't even necessarily need to be hot. It's just that they know how to dress. It's like they try hard. They dress like provocatively, and they put up these selfies. They put up these pictures of their butts, their titties. Just these poses. Just these sexual poses on Instagram or whatever. Instagram, a lot of it's like softcore porn. Like it's literally there's photos on Instagram that are seriously pornographic, like like softcore porn. And yeah, but my point is like some of these girls, like they're not hot. Like they're like some of them are like 5s and 6s, but they post provocative photos and they get like inundated with heavy amounts of attention, like heavy amounts of attention. So, we're just living in an era where it's like, man, it's either you're in the 90%, 80 to 90%. I think I heard, I think it was on Fresh and Fit, but Myron was saying that he thinks it's more like it used to be the 80-20 rule, but it's more like the 90-10 rule. I kind of agree. It's like it's literally only a small percentage. It's like 10% of guys that are really only living the player lifestyle. Like, and there's other guys. There's a lot of beta guys that get girlfriends, like, but they don't live the player lifestyle, not even close. And they might even have hot girlfriends, but they've never experienced the player lifestyle. Getting a girlfriend isn't that hard. Like it's not that hard. Like getting a girlfriend's not even desirable. Like I don't know, like a girlfriend, like it's so needy. I mean, listen, if you want to get a girlfriend, that's fine, but yeah, but it's not that special. I mean, just because once you've once you've been with a lot of girls, like it's like having sex with one girl is gonna get boring very quickly. It is like it's not gonna be enough. No matter how hot she is, like it's sex is kind of like a drug in that sense, in that one girl. It's after a while, after like if you've been with over 100 girls, and then you decide to become monogamous with one girl. Like, I think after a year of sleeping with that girl, your mental arousal with that girl is going to be very, like, you might be able to get physically aroused, like you should be if you're healthy, but your mental arousal will be very, I'd say, will be very muted. I think so, because in my experience, I think that's the way it is. But it's like you're able to get physically aroused because you're a healthy man, but you're not mentally aroused, and that's kind of like that's why having a girlfriend's just like being monogamous with one girl is so deeply, deeply unappealing to me. And I don't even know if I can ever, I don't even think that life is ever going to be for me. I don't see why. I think we only have one life. We only get one shot. I want to enjoy life. I want to, I want to enjoy sex. I want to have sex with a lot of hot women. Variety is the spice of life. I mean, just nothing beats like a new hot pussy. I mean, it's just like it's just every pussy is different. I mean, the pheromone is different, the smell is different, the taste is different. Like nothing beats variety. It doesn't matter if you've like if you bring in all these weird fetishes and all this shit, all this like, you try and spice things up in the bedroom, you try and spice it up. No, like it's not going to replace having a new fucking hot pussy on your bed. Like you can do all this fucking fetish shit, but at the end of the day, you're gonna want the thing that is going to arouse you the most as a man is a new chick, like a new one, new territory, and in a way, it's perfectly. That's the way we're built. That's the way that's what we're evolved to. We're evolved to do. Spread the seed. It's like the ultimate primal, it's our primal instinct. It's our most basic instinct. It's like, I talk about this with MLD all the time, but that's why you feel like a sense of accomplishment. That's why you feel accomplished when you bang a real hot girl, like a new hot girl. You get like a high, like you get high off it, because it's like you are actually accomplishing something in evolutionary terms. Like you're like, this is like, I banged it, I made it, I bred with a like a hot female, and that was probably, who knows? I mean, maybe that was much more. I don't know. I mean, back, human civilization is just a relatively, in the grand scheme of things, it was it's relatively recent. So before then, who knows how things happened? I mean, maybe things were much more brutal. It was like, maybe it was more like the alpha male talk, maybe it was even more pronounced. Maybe we've come full circle, back in the day, it might've been like, maybe it was like 95-5, now it's 90-10, but maybe back in the day, Genghis Khan kind of shit, that really the only top alpha males procreated and the vast majority of males didn't. Maybe it was like that. I tend to think maybe it was like that. Depends on the society, depends on the culture, but even today in the Islamic world, I mean, alpha, the men can have multiple wives, yeah, there's no doubt about it. We're in an era now where there's like, there's a lot of guys, like a lot of thirsty fucking betas out there. There's a lot of fucking thirst. There's a lot, because just look at the hideous state of Western women, the fucking state of them. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. And there's guys just fucking thirsting after them. And just the way they act up, they're kind of like spoiled children. They're like children that have been spoiled. It's like all this, like, there's like they're having a collective fucking tantrum. That's what they're doing. Like the Western women are having a collective tantrum because they've been allowed to eat too much sweets before their dinner, and now they're grumpy and they can't sleep, and they're just like, white men are bad. It's just funny. It's funny for me to see it play out like this from the comfort of Japan. It's just, with their boxed wine and their cats and their shitty jobs, like their shit jobs. Like most of them are working shit office jobs, like really unrewarding, shitty, like office company jobs. And that's empowering to them. That's empowering. they feel like they've won, and they're working like slaving away at these shite jobs, working for shit companies like giant, Amazon and Facebook, and they think they think they've made it, you know, when now they don't even get to live out their, their most basic, they don't even get to be real, like, I've said it before, like men, like women not having children is like men never having sex. Like, that's what it's like. Except I would say even worse, because like a woman not having a child is even more traumatic in a way, because it's like it's such a huge like experience to go through, and then you miss out on it and you never experience it, and it's probably not good for your psychology, I would say. El Tas says, new pussy smell, as Patrice would say. Can't be beaten. Cannot, well, it really does depend. Sometimes it's not so great. And then, you do the old in and out, and that's it. It's always a disappointment when it's like that. When you hook up with a girl and it's just doesn't smell right. And you're just like, fuck that. It's going to be vanilla sex. Vanilla time for the old in-out sex, and kind of done. Like when it smells bad, you're not, there's only so much you can do. It's kind of just go for the, there's not going to be much foreplay in that case. I personally speaking, I fucking love foreplay. I like it. I mean, I like it a lot. And if the pussy stinks, or if it's not properly groomed, yeah, I'm not about it. I'll still do it. I'm a dog. Like I'm an animal, so I'm gonna smash. Like, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna make sure that the glove is on, and I'm gonna smash and pretty much be done with it. Yeah, you want it to be. It's also a sign. It's also a sign that there could be something. There could be something wrong down there. There could be like some STD shit going on. So, it's important. It's important to take note. It's important to inspect what you're dealing with. That's why sober sex is the best sex, because you're clued in, you're sharp as a sword, and you're not gonna be. I think a lot of reason guys end up getting maybe STDs is because maybe a lot of guys have, and from hookups they end up getting drunk or whatever, and then getting whiskey dick, and then having trouble getting a condom on, so they end up raw dogging, because it's like it's harder to get an erection when they put on a condom. So they eventually can get an erection if they raw dog, and they end up getting STDs that way. But if you're stone cold sober, you should be, you shouldn't, you could have erection problems if your mentality is not straight, but it's not whiskey dick you're gonna have a problem with. But when people are drunk, that could be an issue. That having whiskey dick is not a good place to be. It's not a good time. Yeah, but the ones that got away from when I used to drink, it hasn't happened to me that many times, but it has happened in the past when alcohol related whiskey dick. Yeah, so that's another advantage to being sober. That is just not an issue. Definitely not an issue. Elta says, most Western girls I've met have psychological problems of some kind, even the feminine ones. There are very few that haven't. I would never commit to such a girl. Yeah, I mean, why would you? Why would you create, to get into if you're going to get into a relationship, you have to be set. You have to have yourself set. You don't want to be getting into. You want to have good solid inner game as a man. Whatever about women, but like if you as a man want to get into a relationship, you have to like, you know, you have to have solid foundations, and because if you have all these problems and psychological problems, and you get into a relationship, then it's just going to make things worse. You become emotionally attached to someone, and then you start relying on them, and you start associating them with happiness, and then they break up with you, or it doesn't work out, and then you get all emo and all this bullshit. Not a good happiness has to, not to get all like, psychological, airy fairy and all that shit, but happiness it has to come from within. You have to be comfortable being alone. Like, that's why, you actually, you have to be comfortable going, being by yourself, being able to do your own thing, not relying on people. Obviously, it's important to have a good circle of friends, have a good social life, but if you're relying on people too much, that's also not good. Go More Hike says, is the 90-10 rule in effect in Japan? Probably, man. I mean, there's a word in Japan called sexless. They call it sekuresu. I mean, it comes from the English language, but in Japan, they use it. They mean, when they say sekuresu, it means people that have never had sex, or couples that don't have sex. They might have had sex a few times, but sometimes people even get into relationships and they've never had sex. It's crazy. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds stupid, but there's actually people in relationships in Japan that they don't have any sexual relationship. It's weird. I mean, I don't know. I've talked to Japanese people about it, and it's a thing. It's a sekuresu kaparu. Yeah, like they don't have sex, or they might have had sex a few times, but then they stop. But it's also, like I said, it's literally a thing where people get in, they start dating, but they never have sex, and they continue dating, and they just, it's weird. I don't know. Japan has come like full circle or something. It's like, it's strange, but there are a lot of virgins in Japan. There are a fuck load. There are a fuck ton. There are a lot of virgins. People who just, they call them, like a virgin guy in Japan is called a cherry boy. They call them literally, like in cherry boy. That's what they call them. It's funny, yeah. But cherry boy. So that's guys. There's a lot of them. Guys that just go their own way. MGTOW is probably a big thing here. So I'm kind of in a bubble. Like I'm kind of out of the, it sounds bad, but honestly speaking, like I've pretty much there's one, other than the foreign friends I have in Japan, I have pretty much one foreign Japanese friend. Anything outside of that is kind of like acquaintances or people I know, but one Japanese friend. It's hard. I mean, it's not a language barrier. It's just a cultural barrier. There's a big difference between Japanese men and Western men. There is a big cultural difference, I think. There is. There just is. There's a big cultural difference. Gotta say, like Japanese men are very bad. Not all of them, but not all of them. A lot of them are very bad at communicating. With foreign guys, with foreigners in general, they're very bad. They find it very hard to have a chilled out, relaxed, smooth conversation with a foreigner. They honestly, a lot of the time they'll behave in the goofiest of ways, like very goofy behavior, like just very awkward, very just like, it's hard to describe, but it is a thing. It's hard to have a genuine, like, without this, like, oh, you're a foreigner, oh, you're like being excessively polite or being excessively, like, almost sometimes it's genuine, sometimes it's condescending. sometimes it's like it's almost like it's not coming from a good place. Sometimes in the way that they communicate with you, but it is what it is. I mean, it's one of those things that it's I've lived here, and I love living here, but it's kind of unfortunate. I would say an unfortunate fact. It's an unfortunate reality of living here that is very hard to fit in. Like it's like that's why in a way my Japanese apparently my Japanese is very feminine, because I learned like most of my Japanese, like I've all pretty much all through. I studied a little bit. I mean, I studied a little bit when I came here. I had a lot of free time originally when I first came here, and yeah, I studied a bit, but the vast majority was just from like gaming and meeting chicks and spending time with them and banging them, and so they taught me a lot of just from conversational Japanese. A lot of my Japanese is apparently feminine. Who gives a fuck? It's that's a receipt. That's a receipt in itself, isn't it? Uh, you know, Either people think I'm gay or that they know I fucking spent a lot of time with a lot of chicks, and yeah, it's obviously the latter one. uh, Ted in the house says, "What up, Mac? My first time catching your live stream. Good to have you in the house, brother. Good to have you here." So yeah, the 90-10 rule is pretty much in effect in Japan. Maybe even more. I don't know, but sex does happen here, but I'm just not sure. Because, like I said, honestly, I have one Japanese friend. As bad as that sounds, I have as a good group of foreign friends, but it is what it is. What it is. I'm in the gaijin bubble. Gaijin bubble. When I used to live up in northern Japan, I knew a few more Japanese, but yeah, it was mostly chicks that I was associating with. Matt W says, sober sex on an empty stomach. Eating a meal before is no bueno. Yeah, I mean, anytime if I ever bring a chick back on the with the plausible deniability of having food or something, or eating dinner here, I'll always try and smash before eating. It's just such a better deal. I mean, it's just so much more enjoyable to smash, like to eat after you've smashed. Plus, honestly, like I don't know if it's like when I'm genuinely horny, like if a girl gets me horny, I like lose my appetite. It's crazy. It's like I could be really hungry, and then like once I get my mind like switches to sex mode, like I'll lose my appetite. So I really do actually genuinely want to smash before I eat, and I genuinely do. I generally do. When they're back here on the on the pretext of having like well, they were it's true too. You want to kill two birds with one stone. Sometimes it just works out where you want to eat and you want to smash too. So when they come back on the plausible deniability that we're gonna have food, I'll definitely try and smash, and everyone should. It just like breaks the ice. You can smash. You smash. You have great sex. You helps you build up an appetite as well. You eat the food. You have dinner. You relax, and then you can smash again after eating. It's but yeah, generally better to smash before. And Death in the house says, I've met two 28-year-old virgin men over here. I believe and Death is from my Instagram, right? I think we've chatted, right? yeah, I mean it's a thing here. Um, Lofa says, "How do you stay in Japan? Do you have a work visa?" Uh, yes, I do. I do have a work visa, and I honestly, I want to stay in Japan for the foreseeable future. Just the way things are, I mean, it's just a better deal to be in Japan right now. Why would it, it's just everything's pretty much open for business. There's like tons of hot girls, the quality of life here, the quality of service, the food. I like the weather here. Everything, everything's dope. But yeah, you need to have your visa. You need to have a visa here. They don't fuck around with visas. You don't fuck around with that. Um, I mean, if you stayed in Japan even like one day after your visa expired, they will kick you. You'll get arrested, and they will deport you, and you'll never be allowed back in the country again. They do not fuck around. All this bullshit in Western, in Western countries about open borders and people just fucking around, fucking off wherever they want. That shit does not float. Pretty much in any Asian country, like in any Asian country, and not only Asian countries, there's a lot of countries around the world. It's only a Western thing where it's like, oh, you're allowed to, we just accept anyone from anywhere, and just like everyone's equal. There's this thing in Ireland now where it's like people who've lived in the country for like a couple of years are like, the media promotes it as, and I don't even know if it's even the people that emigrate to Ireland are saying this, but it's the new fucking progressive media and Facebook and Google and all these all these things promoting it as like they're as Irish as the Irish themselves, and to say otherwise is extremely racist, and they're just as Irish, and they but just, I mean, I've been in Japan over 6 years, and I've said this before and I say it again, like if I stay here until the day I die, I'm an Irishman in Japan. I will never be Japanese. And that's not like to insult, that's out of respect for Japan. Like that's out of respect for the country and the culture. Like I'm an Irishman in Japan. To say anything otherwise is a fucking lie. Like it's a fucking lie. And yeah, it's just the way Western countries are so fucking cucked. It's hilarious. But yeah, no, it's just I don't know. It's one of the things. Even for myself, like to say, oh, I'm somehow anyway Japanese is like ridiculous. And yeah, it is what it is. YT510 says you find most of the guys in cringe as fuck. There are a lot of cringe ass fucking guys in here. I mean, that's why, yeah, there are a lot of them are fucking pretty fucking lame. Yeah, I mean, I guess Japan attracts a certain kind of foreigner. Kind of geeks, a lot of them get their little dream crushed too, because they come over to Japan thinking that they come over to the Japan thinking that they're going to live in this little fucking Pokemon little fantasy world. There is, you can find that if you want or whatever, you can find that element of the culture here for sure, but it's it's the work culture and all that it's a lot harsher. It's not all fucking anime and Pokemon and shit. You can find that element if you want, but there's more to it than just that. So you get a lot of these fat Western kind of, almost like progressive types coming over here, and Japan is pretty based in a lot of ways. So they get their little dreams, like their little bubbles burst pretty quick, and they might last 1 or 2 years, and then they fuck off back home, or they just can't handle it. Some of them stick it out. I think a lot of chicks here, like Western chicks, don't last here, and if they do, they become very miserable. The ones that stay here are fucking miserable as fuck. Western chicks. Like some of them might stay 2 or 3 years and they become miserable because it's just, again, like I said, it attracts these kind of, I don't know why they get attracted to this one element of the culture, like the anime and maybe, the fashion, I don't know. Or the beauty and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, Japan is based in a lot of ways, and it doesn't match up with this progressive shit that's going on in Western countries. So all this fucking, the BLM and the Antifa and all that kind of shit doesn't fly here. And the feminism shit, thankfully, thank fuck, I hope it never catches on here, but I hope it doesn't catch on here for sure. But that shit doesn't fly here. They tried to protest women wearing, women tried to protest companies making them wear high heels here, and that got shot down. That got shot the fuck down. So that was cool. That was cool to see. I'm just glad like that. The only danger is that it's the college girls that go abroad, do their fucking little study abroad year, and they come back, they study in shitholes like Canada and Australia and America, and they bring back the most garbage fucking college progressive shit back to Japan. But it's a small percentage. And I run into these types occasionally. Not so much anymore because I've stopped using dating apps. I don't have any dating apps on my phone right now. It's all day game. The only way I source chicks is through day game now, or not, some little bit of night game. But I used to run into these chicks on fucking dating apps, and it's never was a pleasant time. Not just yeah. Rob Macer says, "Hey Mac, ideally, where do you see yourself when you are 40?" Well, I will be 33 on the 14th of September. So that's in another 7 years. I see. Probably, I'd like to see myself still based in Tokyo, but I want to see myself. By 40, I definitely want to see myself financially free. Like free. I literally want to be free to do whatever the fuck. Free to go wherever I want and do whatever I want. Who knows if I'll be able to go wherever I want, but I want to be able to. Right now, I have some responsibilities, like having to work for the man a little bit. But at 40, I definitely want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want. Like literally wake up, whatever, have no responsibilities, do whatever the fuck I want, go wherever the fuck I want, wake up whatever time I want. That's the ultimate. That's the goal. Freedom. If I got financially free, I'd probably, I don't know, I'd probably make an erotic publication or something. Who knows? I don't know, for like kind of artistic erotic shit. I would, because I like art. That's what I studied in college. So I want to combine like my love for bitches and art. I like imagery. I like, so it's a good combination. So I'd probably focus on photography and whatnot. Yeah, hopefully have financially free. That's the goal. Go More Hike says, any problems from local men about smashing so many local women? Rarely. I mean, Japanese men they get, like, sometimes they get. I've never been intimidated in Japan. That's unbelievable. It sounds unbelievable. I've been here 6 years. I've never felt intimidated here. Like no one has ever. I've never felt like shit. Like I'm in danger. Like it's very safe country. But sometimes they annoy. I've had an annoying experience. Sometimes when I'm gaming a girl on the street, some prick, some annoying little leech will come up very like kind of. They'll almost get in your way, like trying to cock block you. Almost. This happens. Like this is a thing that will happen from time to time. It's a thing that unfortunately some Japanese men will do. They'll try and fucking cock block you by getting too close. Like it's fucking annoying. It's like being at a urinal, like taking a piss and like having like they're all empty and some prick coming up right beside you to take a piss. That's kind of what it's like. It's like get the fuck out of my way, you prick. This is a thing. This if you do game here enough, it'll happen, and it's annoying as fuck. But not in an intimidating way, in a fucking annoying way. Like a fucking yeah. That's about it. But not I've never had anyone be aggressive to me or like try and like get up in my face about it. No, not yet. Thankfully, but yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, Tokyo is a fucking great spot for doing day game, just because of the sheer numbers of hot chicks, like fucking hotties. Like, there's just so many of them, and like a lot of them aren't going to be interested in me because I'm a foreigner. Like the creme de la creme in Japan, like that's why like. If you're good at game in Japan as a foreigner, like that's it on hard mode. It's hard mode here because most of them don't deal with foreigners. The creme de la creme, if you can get with creme de la creme here, your game is fire. Like honestly, sometimes you see very good looking handsome foreign guys here, which to be honest is very rare because most foreign guys here are pretty like fucking dorks. But sometimes you see like tall, handsome dudes here, and they're with like very average looking girls, like very like decent looking girls, but like they're not creme de la creme. They're not like the fucking super hot girls here. Like you rarely see it. You very rarely see a foreign guy, no matter how good looking he is, with a really hot girl. You see it like. All Japanese girls they're all pretty decent. Like, it's a country of sixes. Like, it's like if a Japanese girl is ugly, she got fucking unlucky. Like, she got real unlucky. She got real unlucky in the genetic lottery. Neuwirth says, I could see you in a smoking jacket like Hugh Hefner. Oh yeah, the Tokyo Grotto. Gotta have it. Yeah, hopefully living in some fucking boss ass mansion. That would be dope. Who knows what this crypto play works out. Hopefully you guys are in the crypto mindset course to get all those gains, and hopefully you don't lose your storage wallet at the bottom of Tokyo Bay at the Tokyo Tokyo yacht party in 2022. Matt W says, so Japan's men are annoying like a little fly trying to land on your nose and you can't swat it. Oh man, that's so bad. But I mean, not all of them, but listen, not all of them, but it does happen. It is a thing. It is a noticeable thing that some of them do, unfortunately. And it is very annoying. It's like, for example, if I'm walking down the street and, I see this really hot girl and she's, I'm approaching her. I'm going to roll up beside her and approach her and open her. And what can happen sometimes is like a Japanese guy will like come right fucking up. Like, it's like tailgating. They'll fucking tailgate you. When you're driving on the fucking highway and you're I don't know, you're driving at the speed limit or whatever. You're doing 100K in a 100K zone. So you don't want to get a ticket, so you're not going to fucking speed or whatever. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Anyway, some dude comes up behind you tailgating and it's really fucking annoying. There's not the one thing that annoys me when the thing that annoys me most when driving is when some motherfucker tailgates me and I'm going pretty fast already. That pisses me off, man. That pisses me off a lot. So it's the same thing when I'm doing day game. Some prick, there's like, it's an open street, like there's a lot of space. He can go around me, he can go, but they'll come up. It's like they're trying to cock block you in the most annoying fucking way, in the most little bitch ass way. It's completely unintimidating. There's nothing intimidating about it. They're not intimidating in the least. I don't feel intimidated. It's just annoying because I know exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to kind of make the girl uncomfortable. And they won't say anything. They won't say anything to me. They won't because Japanese girls are very like they're very self-conscious. They'll be very like, they don't want to. Yeah, they're kind of shy. They'll kind of want to keep to themselves. They don't want people to hear what they're saying and stuff like that. But yeah, that's like an annoying aspect of that can happen while doing day game in Japan. But it doesn't happen that often, but it does. It is a feature that can arise. But Fosian says, I've had the sigh or jealous scoff from guys in the race of women that are coming onto me. My impression was that they were lonely and feel entitled to the women because of some kind of race relation. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, that'll always be a thing. I mean, I'm a foreigner in Japan. Like it'll always be a thing where it's like, yeah, you coming over here trying to steal our women kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I can't. It's not bad enough for me to want to leave the country, not by a fucking long shot. No, it's not. It is an annoying little element, but it's always going to be here. It's always going to be like, you coming here stealing our women, and but it is what it is. I mean, it would be more of an since I'm in Tokyo, it's not as it's a massive city, so it's like it's more international. If you're in like smaller cities in Japan, it might be more of an issue. If your player life might be kind of limited. It got to a point, honestly, when I used to live in a city up in northern Japan, big enough city, not about 1 million in the city. So the city center looked like a city, right? It wasn't a small town or anything. But yeah, I was there for 4 years, and although I pretty much rinsed that city. Like I had by the end of that 4 years, anytime, I'm not exaggerating, like anytime I went into that city to meet friends or go for dinner or go for food, chances were I was going to see a girl that I smashed. Like I'm not exaggerating. That's not an exaggeration. That's not blowing my own trumpet. That's just actually what. So I was like glad to like leave that city. I loved living there, but it was like, okay, this is too much. This is rinsed. I've kind of maximized my potential. I've outgrown this pond kind of thing. I need to go to new waters. Like it's like fishing. I overfished. I had overfished in the city, and you need to go to a new spot. I need to go to a new spot. It'd be some feat to do that in Tokyo. Although even in Tokyo, who knows? Maybe that could happen too. But yeah, it'd be kind of a tragedy if that happened. Yeah, it's all. I almost miss the feeling of when I first moved to Tokyo. The feeling of like endless, like for just the newness of it. Yeah, but Go More Hike says, when they C block you, I bet they do it that way because they know you can't punch their lights out. I have panhandlers come up to me like that, getting in my personal space. Yeah, anyone getting in your personal space is really annoying. But yeah, they're just it's yeah. I'm not gonna obviously punch someone like for fucking, you know. Yeah, I'd get, that's one thing. You break the law here, you're getting fucked. They're gonna fuck you out of the country. Like Japan doesn't mess around with crime. Like there is basically no crime here. So if I punched at like a Japanese guy, I would like that would be it would probably they'd probably I don't know probably make the news. Like there is literally such a small amount of crime here. Like people caught with like little small quantities of marijuana, that's on the news here. Like that gets put on the fucking news. People caught with small quantities of marijuana. That shows you the levels of the level, like the non-existent crime here. There is some crime, obviously. There's like there, but like it's very petty kind of stuff. I remember literally there was one guy in Japan that went into a convenience store and he started poking like some of the food, it's called like oden. It's like this like soup. He opened it up and his friend filmed it and he started poking it and he put it on YouTube and it became like this national story because it was so disrespectful and he had to apologize and bow down. It just made me realize, holy shit, if this is making the news, like there must be like no crime here. Yeah, so obviously if I punched anyone here, any kind of violent crime, they're going to jump all over it. The thing about Japan is there's not that much crime, but when there is a crime, it's usually some kind of if there's like some violence in Japan, it's usually like some psychopath, like because of the work culture here. People are like so stressed out. People occasionally there's like psychopaths, like someone on the train like a couple of weeks back went around stabbing a bunch of women. I think it was like kind of incel related. It was actually like he was it's not even funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's not funny. I'm not laughing, but no, yeah, it was incel related. People lose their minds here. Like so that's kind of like when there is a violent crime here, it tends to be someone like going around stabbing people, like actually a psychosis or something. But yeah, that happened on the train like 2 weeks ago or something. Some guy just fucking lost his mind. I think he couldn't get laid. I think it was literally he could not get laid, and he just lost his mind and started stabbing chicks. Just probably found the Japanese version of the black pill or something. I don't know. And that says train stabbing and then that acid attack to those two people's faces on the escalator. Yeah, there's these random attacks, but it's like, yeah, other than these like kind of psychotic, like random salary men that lose their minds. Yeah, very, very safe country. But yeah, like you're not gonna get. There's literally there's no go zones in Japan. There's nowhere you cannot like you're gonna have to watch your back, that much in Japan. There's some places that might be a little there, but even the only reason they're sketchy is maybe because it's going to be some foreign. It's actually from foreign people that are going to be more sketchy. There's one thing that they do. There's one kind of crime. I don't even know if it's a crime, but the Yakuza here. That's the official. That's the mafia here. The Yakuza. They run the sex industry here. So they tend to they'll try and rip people off. It's called botakuri. So like you go to a bar or something, and they do this. They probably wouldn't even target foreigners because it might be too much trouble. But it would be a thing that they would do to Japanese people because you go to a bar and they'd way overprice them. They'd charge them like way more than it should be, just for entering some dodgy bar or something. That's it. In-house says greets from Germany. What's up, brother? Lofa says BWD not allowed. Oh god. Yeah, I think I know what that means. But yeah, it's funny actually. A lot of a lot of places wouldn't actually even want to deal with foreigners. A lot of seedier places, they don't actually want it because I think they know that they might not get away with ripping off foreigners. Foreigner might not be willing to, because Japanese would be very terrified of these but of the Yakuza. So the Yakuza could come out and tell them to pay up. They're gonna pay up because they'd be so scared. But with a foreigner, like the Yakuza, like I'm sure there's some bad ones, but in terms of like organized crime, if I was gonna in the entire world, if I was to mess with any organized crime syndicate in the world, I would choose the Yakuza. Because I'm not saying I want to go looking for trouble with the Yakuza. I definitely don't. However, compared to like other foreign like criminals and mafia, like you mess with the Mexican cartel, they'll butch you. They'll kill you. They kill your family. Like I mean, you just can't fuck around with them. But the Yakuza aren't gonna do that. The thing about the Yakuza is it's more like I don't know. It's more like just a lot of actually business they're involved in is more like it's actually a lot of it's actually legal. Like they'd actually, it's just seedy, like stuff like the sex industry, gambling, stuff like that. Like, but it's not so much drugs stuff. It's not robbing banks and stuff like that. It's not like robbing people. It's you can rip people off. They rip people off, I'm sure, but it's not the same. But yeah, it would definitely a safer mafia than others. Yeah, so they actually do deal in a lot of legit business, although it is seedy. But yeah, seedier deals going on. But yeah, Japan is a pretty all in all, Japan is still a dope place to be. I don't want to mess with my status here, so I'm gonna be here for the foreseeable future. It's just you gotta come here to believe it. Like honestly, like I never really even had a thing for Asian chicks before I came to Japan. But when you come to Tokyo or you go, your mind will be blown by the level of beauty here. It's so common to see like such gorgeous hot girls. You don't need to have like yellow fever or just like anything like that. It's just if you like sexy women, if you like sexy hot women, you're gonna see a lot of them in Tokyo. And it'll blow your mind at the insane ratio. Anytime I go and jump on the subway or the train, there's bound to be at least some serious hot girls sitting on like in in reach. Like there's gonna be like it's just crazy. Yeah, but been going for a while here, so I'm gonna jump off today, so I'll be back. I think I might be on MLD stream tomorrow night, so tune in for that. Have to confirm that with him, but let me see. Yeah, so tune in to MLD stream tomorrow. I'll be on that, and then I'll be back for another episode of Player Life on Friday. Friday 9 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Japanese time. So as usual, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links in the description if you're interested in premium content. Access to Telegram, monthly webinar, and blog content. All about game, day game, and living a player lifestyle, and just living that dream lifestyle, living the dream. But yeah, thanks for joining, and catch you on the flip side. Peace out. Bye bye.